Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-8, it's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of Yarbas of OLIMP. And he's got the bounty rammer rotation device and gun laying drive. Game on! Well, this is the Arty that was made from the T-28, or at least it would have been if there'd been any T-28s left alive, because of course they were wiped out in the early stages of the war. In fact, a lot of them were lost. They actually manufactured over 503 of the T-28s, but by 1941 there were very few left. Yes, if the Germans hadn't got them, the Finns did. In fact, there are still 3 T-28s still in existence. One at the Tank Museum in Moscow, Kubinka, and the other 2 are actually in Finland. Yes, do you believe it? The Finns actually captured them and have kept them at their tank museum instead. Well, Olymp's work, he's trying to destroy the enemy tanks that are actually up on top of the hill. He fired that one in where the last tank was seen, so he might have got some damage. 2 Arty on either team. Our other Arty is an M44. You can just briefly saw him behind us. We've got a 152mm howitzer as our main armament, which is capable of doing 550 alpha, 38mm pen, and that was very close to the target. In fact, the M44 fired at the same time, and he landed very close to where our shell landed. You can see that T-44 wasn't too far away from the aim point. That's it, just about there. Rounds out. Direct hit. You can always tell when they've got it right, because you not only do you get the shell disappear without an explosion, but you get a feeling that if you know that that tank's not going to pull forward when you fire, you are reasonably certain that he's going to get completely smacked in the face. Okay, we're going to stir mill here, which has got very little armor, and he's got to stand still to fire, and that means he takes a hit. And it wasn't a penetrating shot, so it probably hit the tracks. 230 hit points of damage from that one. This is a tier 7 game with tier 6 tanks, so it also means that Yarbas is actually attacking higher tier tanks than his own. The same with the M44, which means they are earning 10% extra XP for every shot they fire at the enemy. Well, that guy is over on the hill, and he's moving backwards and forwards, trying to throw off the shots. Of course, he's very visible to the crocodile up in the center line on our side, and that's why he's taking fire. 178 hit points from that one, and fire coming from the crocodile as well at the same time. You can see those shells are impacting the sides of the vehicle. He's holding on because the guy moved slightly to one side. We're lined up. Wait for him to start moving forward again. Rounds out. That one hit the ridge line. Unfortunate that, because we just missed him. But he is still taking damage from the crocodile. One of the great things about the SU-8 is its reload time. Of course, the standard reload is, by the book, 19.65 seconds. But the reload time we've got here is 15.91. Okay, loaded again. Rounds out. Just missed him. Okay, he's following him. Fires the shell in this time round. He gets the kill shot because he got it close enough to splash him, and the splash was enough to wipe him out. Okay. We're loaded. Let it settle. Let it settle. That's right. Yes, perfect. Right on target, but only 73 hit points hit the frontal armor. You can see where the impacts have been because they're on the upper plate. Those yellow marks on the front of the vehicle, those are the impact points. Now, he'd be firing blind if he did fire right now, but instead he's actually decided to change the aim because the ARL moved to one side. Good job. In fact, he's not the only one that went to one side. We can see the KV-1S did the same. But this is a target we can hit, the M4A376 WEP, who's remaining stationary, just popping forward every now and then. And you can still see the marks are going backwards and forwards, and that was a direct hit because, of course, no explosion. We're 3 up on the enemy. And there's that T-29 again. Rounds out. Yep, another direct hit. This time on the mantlet. He's getting low on hit points, that T-29. He probably won't be around for very much longer. And there he is. In fact, yes, that was his last hit. And he's now out the game. So if you get to the point where you are lacking hit points, it's time to retreat and pick another spot to fire from, because you'd be much better off in support than you were sitting at the front taking the fire from the enemy. There's a lot of tank drivers who hate Arty players, but they hate them based on the fact that they keep getting hit by them. If they wouldn't be hit by them if they weren't in sight of the enemy. So if you pull back, then if you're actually low on hit points, pull back and take a supporting role. Don't sit up front and then blame the Arty when you get hit and taken out the game. Okay, there's the M4A376 WEP that we hit earlier. You can't see the yellow stain from the impact point, but that might be at the front of the vehicle. He's side onto us at the moment. And that was another direct hit. In fact, I think we can see the yellow stain at the front of the vehicle. It's where the helmet is, just on the front right-hand side. He's loaded. Rounds out. Oh! Now, he managed to get away with just stun on that occasion. The shell landed a fair distance behind him. Let's see what the next shell does. Rounds out. Again. This time round he did get splashed for 166. And he got tracked as well. As you can see, we're running low on shells. We're now down to 6 stun shells left. Rounds out. And that's another direct hit. And this time round 210 hit points, which makes this guy a one-shot for anybody who hits him. The next round is going to take him out of the game. And again, he should be sitting at the back in the support role. Well, I suppose you could say he is at the back. Oh, and again, that goes long and lands well behind him. And eventually he does go down, but this time it's the Type 62. Okay, we've got a Super Hellcat at the back. In fact, he's one of only 2 players left in the game. The other one being the Dickomax, and he's over on the west side, and he just got wiped out. So this is now the last enemy tank, and he goes down to a shot that comes in from the IS, and that's game over. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Yarbas of OLIMP in the SU-8. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 8, and he got a cause medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. His win 8 was 4,508, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Crocodile, who was right up at the center line. He got a high caliber and a Confederate for 2,754 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was Yarbas with 2,450. And the third highest damage, well, that turned out to be the T-3485M on the enemy team, who's actually got a tank sniper and 2,083 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between a number of vehicles because the highest number was 2 kills, and the Crocodile managed to get that. So did the Yarbas, so did the T-25-2, the T-3485M, and the Jagdpanther on his own team. And the only player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and it was the Dickomax, and he was sitting in the sniper's position up on the northwest corner of Prokhorovka. Yes, so he was sitting in that bush, firing at enemy tanks that came into sight with his 105mm gun. When it came to base XP, he's in second place. The Crocodile did a lot of spotting. He got 1,125. Second place went to Yarbas with 1,008. They were the only 2 players who managed to make it over 1,000 base, with the third place going to the Type 62, who got 875, and he got a patrol duty and scout out of that one as well. If we look at detail, we can see he fired 23 rounds, so he only had 3 rounds spare at the end of the game. He got 9 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but he did get 17 splashes. 2,450 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, so missed out on getting his Confederate by just 1 tank, I think. He also managed to get 526 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 97,896 credits, including a 90,000 mission completion bonus. So without that 90,000, he would have actually been at 7,896 because he did have to pay for consumables. And on top of that, 3,024 experience points out of the game as well. So not a bad game. In fact, it just shows that if you keep pumping those rounds in as fast as you can on the enemy, hitting the enemy as quickly as you can, then reloading a new shell to do the same again, then you can rack up a lot of damage and also potentially pick yourself up an ace tanker. Well done to Yarbas. We got another replay coming in from him very shortly, so do stick around. Thanks for watching.